How does today find you?
When he was born, the forest of Lordaeron whispered a name. Arthas.
Tread lightly.
Arthas Menethil. It is said that when he was born, the very forest of Lordaeron whispered his name. But did the forest of his youth know what he would eventually grow to become? Dun dun dun.
Every good story.
I must warn you, friend. This is not a tale for the faint of heart. The Lich King. A figure so horrible that his very legacy defies remembrance. Perhaps we should recall instead the prince, who had yet to become king.
Greetings.
The story of Arthas is one of tragedy and caution. He was the best of his people had to offer, and that set him on a path which destroyed both the future king and his kingdom. And what does Arthas have anything to do with this? I think Arthas is chosen because it is a... Oh, hang on. Ner'zhul was killed with a blade designed to imprison, not kill void creatures. I mean, they opened the carapace, and Ner'zhul was inside of the carapace, and we laser beamed Ner'zhul. The blade was used to tear open his flesh, and while it might have been designed to contain Xal'atath, that does not mean it doesn't have the power to open up the carapace, right? Sorry, so why is Arthas here? I imagine because Arthas is one of the more popular storylines that they have, and if you have like a brand new feature that you want promoted into the game, and you're like, hey, here's Lorewalking, why not use one of your most popular stories, right? Because this has more potential than just linking itself to what's currently going on in the storyline. It could just be a really cool way for level 10s and beyond to level up, and instead of going time walking, instead of going chromie time, you could go Lorewalking. You could actually go through quest lines and moments in the past and experience it that way. Because right now we have a catalog of 3. I also read already that there's like a 4th one in the data files. But imagine over time, if they keep adding to this library, how many storylines they could not be adding, right? That'd be cool. Who was the Lich King?
Farewell.
What? Nah. Glad you could make it, Uther. This entire city must be Arthas. What? You can't be serious. Have you lost your mind, Arthas? Have I, Lord Arthas? By my power as Arthas, I Arthas your Arthas. You hold back. You are the best. Let them know it. You go into a frenzy. I am the best. You hold back, using your martial mastery to teach a valuable lesson. Stuns the target. Strike to teach, not to wound. Okay. I am the best around.
There you are, lad.
Hello.
We've been waiting for you.
Isn't this the Uther quest line that they did in the Shadowlands? Similar vein? I don't know. Where are we? In Lordaeron Garrison. No. This is an emptied out Scarlet Monastery. Don't be lying to me now, game.
The light shines upon us. Well met.
It is a big day, lad. We've got a parade of the troops, a visiting contingent from Idaforge, and I hear word that your father, King Tyrannus, will be here to oversee everything. It's days like today that you've been forged for, Arthas. Inspire your men. Prove yourself. Whip these troops into shape. No doubt Muradin's been itching for a brawl as well.
For Lordaeron. The light shines upon us. Well met.
Uther.
Uther, may I have a word? There's been something on my mind.
When has that ever not been the case? Speak up then.
I've trained hard as a Knight of the Silver Hand, done my best to be a Paladin of the Light, but I'm still also Prince of Lordaeron. And one day, I'll be king. What happens if, at some point, those two duties conflict with each other? Which one wins?
Ha. Well, I know much of knighthood and little of royalty. But I do know what it's like to stand at a crossroads. My advice to you is this. all you can do is look down the paths in front of you and do your best to see what lies ahead. Only then can you decide which path will best serve your people in the end. For that is the duty of both prince and paladin.
Look down the path and see what lies ahead? That's your great advice?
I
Right?
can impart many a lesson, my boy, but experience will always be the better teacher. Now go on. Your future awaits.
See, there's no wonder you turned into Bloofer if that's how you spoke with Arthas, Uther. What kind of ass advice is that? Uther, I have doubts. What if my rules in this world conflict with each other? Well, boy, just look further ahead and predict the future and choose upon
The
that.
light shines upon us.
Uh-huh.
Well met.
All right.
For Lordaeron.
And you. There's a rat! This entire city must be purged! Oh, shit. It's a high-level rat. Oh, come on, Arthas, you can do it! Show what you got. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit. They're multiplying. Oh, no, they're infected with the plague. No. Oh, this is Arthas' hellhole. Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't think you're going to win this one, Mr. Meneville. I think it's best to move on. Okay, let's go. Hello. Right, nobody saw that, right?
You need something?
Yes, my lord. Let's spar.
Be careful.
Imagine finding your prince and he just turns violently red. Oh, sorry, Arthas. I just thought we were sparring. That seemed a bit much.
Hey there.
Woo. Uh-huh. All right. Now I'll be feeling that one tomorrow. Hi, fellas. You're good?
Commander,
Hello. More sparring? Damn, Arthas. Calm down.
have a good one. Orders, Commander. Be careful.
All's quiet, Commander. What are your orders? Orders, Commander. Good to see you, Commander.
See you around.
Commander.
See you later.
Sparring is for folks who have yet to see combat, my lord. I have seen the walls of Stormwind torn asunder. I've seen 1,000 fires reflected in the waters of the bay, as 100 ships carry that city's people to the safety of Lordaeron. No sparring for me, sir.
Light bless you. Greetings.
It's the free remastered. Yeah, it's the Lorewalking.
Here there.
Yeah.
Off with you.
So where's Jaina then? Jaina!
What can I do for you?
Oh, honey bun.
Have a good one.
Lover. Arthas, are you sure we're ready for this? I am, if you are. Bomb chicka womp womp. A few moments later. Arthas, I am so ready to start a family with you. I want at least 3 babies. Jaina, I'm not ready for this. What? I'm not ready for this. But Arthas, you said, I know what I said. I'm not ready for this. Oh, all right. Hey, Murden! What the hell are you wearing? Cool. Jaina? We're all alone. Hi, Jaina. I forgot that you used to be full-on blonde.
It's good to see you.
And you? No, Canadian Uncle Sam. Actually, fun fact, that was not a fan fiction. That was a actual retelling of the lore between Jaina and Arthas. Now, it took maybe a little bit longer, but 100% Arthas and Jaina hooked up during a Wickerman festival where she burned the Wickerman with a fireball. They go into the bedroom where she is like, Arthas, are we ready for this? And he's like, yeah, we're totally ready for this. And they do it, right? And then a little bit later during the winter spring ball, whatever it was like wintertime and snowy outside. They were talking about children, and Arthas got cold feet, and he's like, I'm not ready for this. And then he dumped her. That's actually canon. Yeah, it's 100% true. It's canon. I've already heard it referred to as the burning the Wickerman. You know?
I can't stay for long. It's good to see you. Back to my...
Jaina, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your training.
Why are you hiding away back here?
I didn't want to distract you. I just wanted a little break.
They put too much pressure on you in Dalaran.
I could say the same for you. They expect so much of you.
Come visit.
What?
Come see me. My family and my kingdom. Take a real break.
You're right. I should. I will.
Care to stay longer today?
I can't, but... seeing you was enough.
Hi, Murden. You don't have a voice. You just let about anyone in here. Hey, lad. It's good to see you. Would I consider throw a trade up, or you're not a fan of that ship? I actually like that ship, but more so because they got so pissed at the ship that they decided to put it into a book where Agra was totally like, no, you're not with that woman. I really wish that people would stop saying that.
Good to see you, Commander.
For the Alliance.
That's what I like
See you
about
around.
it. It became so incessant that they decided to put it in the book and be like, shut up, they're not together, okay? They're just really good friends. So yeah. I mean, when it comes to Arthas, I like that part about Arthas' storyline is he was a dick and he was arrogant and he did have flaws. So
What are your orders? Safe travels.
as well as the whole manipulation thing, and then the reconnection in Warcraft 3 where it was like, you know, no time had passed at all. A lot to be said about it. War Chief would never be with a Dreadlord. Ha. You have taught me much, my prince.
What are your orders?
Pain
you
and
around.
suffering are great mentors. Sorry. His face when he's so close.
All's quiet,
oh,
Commander.
man. Okay. Okay. Calm down. It's not that funny.
How are you?
Oh, we can't spar because you have a gun.
Can I help you?
But we can spar, you have a bow.
For
I
the
don't get
Alliance.
it. Is it because... Oh, you're not Lordaeron. Right. I'll be feeling that one. Uh-huh. Murden! Yoo-hoo! Give me Arthas' shoulder cloak. Woo. I'm trying to remember. No, you got Farron's shoulder armor from the Arafi thing, not Arthas. Let's spar.
Show me what you've got.
No. So Arthas was actually a really bad fighter. And so they brought in Murden to train him. And he got better eventually. Oh god, what are you doing? Now. You like Jaina and Kalik? I just wish they would do more with it. Let them actually be together.
Ah, the princeling has some bite. Ha! Good shot. Uther's trained you well, Arthas.
You do your order proud, boy.
Aw, thank you.
And your kingdom as well. Come, my son. We have much to attend to.
It's King Tyrannus. Father! You're alive!
Hello, my son.
Hi.
Lordaeron looks to us. Hello, my son.
Hi, Dad. Well done. I hear the soldiers from all the way over here. Sounds like you gave him a lesson of humility and the way that you handled Muradin, but of course you were born for this,
I will always be proud of you.
We don't have music.
Lordaeron
looks to it.
As both prince and paladin, Arthas placed the future of his kingdom above all else. Then, one day, a terrible plague beset Lordaeron, one that turned its victims into the undead.
Yes, Joe. What happened next?
Eyes open. Always be learning. Having seen the horrors afflicting his people, Arthas believed it a mercy to spare them from such a fate.
Glad you could make it, Uther. What's your tone with me, Arthas?
Glad you could make it, Uther.
Watch your tone with me, boy. You may be the prince, but I'm still your superior as a paladin.
As if I could forget.
As if I could forget. Listen, Uther. There's something about the plague you should know. Oh no. We're too late. These people have all been infected. They may look fine now, but it's just a matter of time before they turn into the undead.
What?
This entire city must be purged.
How can you even consider that? There's got to be some other way.
Damn it, Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city!
You are not my king yet, boy. Nor would I obey that command even if you were.
Then I must consider this an act of treason.
Treason? Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Have I? Lord Uther, by my right of succession and the sovereignty of my crown, I hereby relieve you of your command and suspend your paladins from service.
Arthas, you can't just...
It's done. Those of you who have the will to save this land, follow me. The rest of you, get out of my sight.
You've just crossed a terrible threshold, Arthas.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this.
This is actually really clever, because this is not something that they had to newly design for the game. They literally just teleport you into the Culling of Stratholme dungeon where this RP takes place. It's really clever how they put these pieces together. This is such a cool thing that they've made. Like, unreal. Unreal.
Take position here, and I will lead a small force inside Stratholme to begin the culling. We must contain and purge the infected for the sake of all of Lordaeron.
Prince, we're ready.
Everyone looks ready. Remember, these people are all infected with the plague and will die soon. We must purge Stratholme to protect the remainder of Lordaeron from the scourge. Let's go.
Arthas, Morticia says stop. Don't do it. I say purge the entire thing, okay? But Morticia is trying to be nice and trying to stop you. Prince Arthas, may the light be praised. Many people in town have begun to fall seriously ill. Can you help us?
I can only help you with a clean death.
Wait, that's not what I meant. This can't be. Oh, no. Did you see that?
That was just the beginning.
Yes, this is the beginning. I've been waiting for you, young prince. I am Mal'Ganis. As you can see, your people are now mine. I will now turn this city, household by household, until the flame of life has been snuffed out.
I won't allow it, Mal'Ganis. Better that these people die by my hand than serve as your slaves in death.
Yeah. And you think it's redundant?
Mal'Ganis will send out some of his Scourge minions to interfere with us. Those of you with the strongest steel and magic shall go forth and destroy them. I will lead the rest of my forces in purging Stratholme of the infected.
Arthas, look out! It's a wrap! That's how you do it, man. Oh,
Could the people
sorry,
of
Joe.
Stratholme have been cured and saved? We may never know.
I'm so sorry.
Arthas was unwilling to risk the rest of the kingdom. All he could offer was a clean death and swift vengeance.
Okay. I mean, for this, it's, in my opinion, a brilliant way of getting people familiar with chunks of the storyline. So we done one with the Ophidials in which they brought us back into Outland, this end of the quest line with the Ophidials, where they showed us the Mencius, and then they took us into Shadowlands, and then they took us there. It's a great way, in my opinion, to reuse content they put out into the game ages ago, get you on a very streamlined experience, like this is the parts that we want to let you know about this storyline, with, in some cases, it's the purpose of, okay, this is the history of Xal'atath we wanted to add to it, or maybe with the videos wanted to add a little bit to it, or in this case, just tell some cool storylines. Like, these are the cool moments for Arthas, ain't it? And again, it could be a bridge into getting people more interested in what's going on. I'm not sure why anyone would do this instead of the dungeon, because the dungeon is a moment in time for the Purge of Stratholme. Whereas what they're doing so far is offering like a fuller experience when it comes to this is the story of Arthas, right? It is lore walking. It is, okay, Joe, tell me what do you want me to tell about Arthas, and you go to these bits and pieces, right? What was Ufer's plan anyways? Sit around, do nothing? It was probably to hug Kin and be like, Kin, it's really late. I hope you're doing well.
Lordaeron will be saved.
Let us go fight a Dreadlord, sire.
One less obstacle to deal with.
It is what I
Mal'Ganis
say.
will pay for this.
Hi, Mal'Ganis. We're gonna finish this right now, just you and me. Oh, there's not even a...
This will be a fine
right.
test, Prince Arthas.
Lorewalking. Yeah. New thing coming into the next patch.
Protect your prince, soldiers of Lordaeron. I'm in need of aid. May the light have mercy.
You,
I will not.
Your take is... Oh, God, I can't heal you. Let me tank. I got this, my
Protect your
prince.
prince, soldiers of Lordaeron. I'm in need of aid.
Your journey has just begun, young prince.
Uh-huh.
Mal'Ganis will pay for this.
And meet me in the Arctic land of Northrend. It is there that we shall settle the score between us. It is there that your true destiny...
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me? To the ends of the earth! One less obstacle to deal with. You performed
Arthas
well this
did
day.
not relent
Anything
in
that
his
Mal'Ganis has
pursuit
left
of
behind is
Mal'Ganis.
yours. Take it as
He
your
would
reward.
deliver retribution
I must now
for
begin
what the
plans for an
Dreadlord had
expedition
done,
to Northrend.
and for what Mal'Ganis had forced him to do in return.
Okay.
Pandaria welcomes you.
Tell me more about the Undead Plague. The Plague of Undeath, source of so much pain and suffering. It rose to prominence as a weapon during the Third War. The Lich King spread the disease to the human settlements of Lordaeron through shipments of tainted grain. Those who consumed the grain would then become infected, and after their death would rise again as cursed undead. But it was far worse than that. As undead, these feral zombies could then be controlled by the Lich King, becoming part of his army of monstrous scourge. Mindless and with no memory of their former lives, they razed Lordaeron, killing anything that stood in their path, including former friends and loved
Jade
ones.
Serpent guide you.
Stratholme was the second largest city in the Kingdom of Lordaeron, and it was where the Order of the Silver Hand was initially founded. It was an important town, but due to its size and its position as a port city, it was also the city's closest to the Elven Kingdom of Quel'Thalas. Unfortunately,
One less obstacle to deal with.
its size also made it a ripe target for the Lich King's plans. So many citizens gathered in one location, a sizable population just waiting to be turned to undeath. No wonder the city was stricken by the plague. The Lich King wanted to expand his armies
Eyes
after all.
open. Always be learning.
Mal'Ganis Brrrr. The creature was one of 5 dreadlords who were sent by the Burning Legion to serve as jailers of the Lich King. Actually, Cho, that's not correct. I'm sorry, that's not correct, but I'll tell you in a moment. They were meant to keep the Lich King in check and to ensure
will pay for this.
that the plague of undeath spread, as it was supposed to, weakening Azeroth's population in the process. Mal'Ganis initially led the Scourge force in Lordaeron. When the Lich King chose Prince Arthas as a suitable champion in his cause, Mal'Ganis helped concoct a plan to lead Arthas to Northrend. There, a Dreadblade and an even more dreadful fate awaited the prince. They were not sent by the Burning Legion, show. Sorry, man. It's not true anymore. I know. The scrolls probably said something else, but trust me.
Hello.
I learned.
Farewell.
I learned the hard way.
Tread lightly.
What happened after this? Do tell. This loading screen is kind of cool, not gonna lie.
Few survived the expedition to Northrend. Restless ghosts haunted those forlorn shores long afterward.
Okay, so we're at the Forgotten Shore. Cool.
You need something?
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, this is an old quest line. Oh, this is actually the old Northrend. Oh, okay.
Goodbye. Greetings.
Learn
Farewell
about the
to you.
doomed
How are you?
expedition. Okay.
How are you doing? See ya around.
Meow. Hey, there's a star in the sky. So I wonder if this is actually open world with everybody else and they just reactivated the quest line, or if you're like in your own little phase right now. I be curious. Forgotten peasant questions, rifleman, and knight and footman. Hello. Can't you see that I'm busy trying to fix the ship that Arthas burned because nobody was gonna go home? I would spend hours doing these quest lines. Isn't it just the best?
Can I help you?
Whenever I get these ships
Be
ready.
careful.
Here you go. Footman. Rifleman. Hello.
Interest you on a pint? What's
I'm sure
your bet?
Arthas will be back any day now. And then a Forgotten Knight. It's probably going to be on a horsey, ain't it? That's a footman. Rifleman. Where are you all keeping your knights at? Oh, there's one. Haha.
Greetings.
Hello.
Have a good one.
I mean, the prince is out and about right now. Let's find out.
Hello.
Hello. They don't know. None of them know. Oh, they're all dead and they do not know.
Farewell to ye.
Let's show them that they are dead and send them off to the next
See ya
land.
around.
Friend to the ghost of the Forgotten Shore. Place Oryx orb at the center of the ruins found in the Forgotten Shore. Kill them to show them that they're dead. Yes, that's how we do. The wine and lore and the hat. Yes. Right. What is this now? Perhaps Prince Arthas returned to us today. Look alive, lads. Today might be the day that we leave this cursed land. Oh, sweet Idafort, how I missed you.
I apologize, emissary, but the prince is away on an errand. What brings you to this desolate place?
By royal edict, you men are to return to Lordaeron immediately. Lord Uther has convinced the king to recall this expedition.
We're to just pick up and leave?
That's correct. My men report that the roads from here to the shore are held by the undead. You'll need to find an alternate route back to your ships.
To hell with the undead. We'll cut our way through the woods, men.
I don't know if the forest lines were originally in WoW or not. They are now.
Captain, why are the guards not at their posts?
Well, my lord, your father had our troops recalled at Lord Uther's request.
What?
Uther had my troops recalled? Damn it! If my warriors abandon me, I'll never defeat Mal'Ganis. The ships must be burned before the men reach the shore.
Isn't that a bit much, lad?
Isn't that a bit much, lad?
Burn down to their frames! No one goes home until our job here is done!
You lied to your men and betrayed the mercenaries who fought for you. What's happening to you, Arthas? Is vengeance all that's important to you?
Spare me, Muradin. You weren't there to see what Mal'Ganis did to my homeland.
Well, dang. I think they also may mention in the original quest line about, oh, Arthas betrayed us, and then they go off, but... No, they just went off. Yeah, that's what happened at like 10 times speed. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah. That was the ghost learning the truths and be like, oh, I can go now, because my prince betrayed me.
How are you doing?
Ah, pretty good.
Goodbye. See ya around.
Okie dokie. Parting thoughts. Right. I wonder how long they're gonna keep the Arthas storyline, because this one can go quite extensively. This is only picking on Frostmourne. Are we gonna go into Icecrown with the whole Heart quest line? Because that one is one of my favorites. It's an issue that is locked behind like the end part of Icecrown questing, but
hey there,
it is awesome. Oh, you debt of gratitude. You are welcome. I will take the 65 gold blade. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Uh-huh.
See you later.
Secrets of the past revealed. Oh, this is when he picks up Frostmourne, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Imagine a new quest with him in the jailer. Woof. Where you actually get to learn what his time was like when dropped into the maw. I'd be down for that. Yeah. Yoo-hoo!
Behold, Muradin, our salvation, Frostmourne.
Halt, lad. There's an inscription on the dais. It's a warning. It says, whomsoever takes up this blade shall wield power eternal. Just as the blade rends flesh, so must power scar the spirit. Oh, I should have known. The blade is cursed. Let's get the hell out of here.
I would gladly bear any curse to save my homeland.
Don't do it, Arthas. Don't do it, man.
Leave it be, Arthas. Forget this business and lead your men home.
Damn the men! Nothing shall prevent me from having my revenge, old friend. Not even you.
Oh.
Now, I call out to the spirits of this place. I will give anything or pay any price if only you will help me save my people.
Are you sure about that? It's Muradin. You're sacrificing Muradin, you fool. Although, to be fair, if I would get Frostmourne because of it, I'd probably do it as well. Doesn't even look back. Cold as ice this man is. But wait. This is what we uncovered in Wrath of the Lich King. Look at that. My hat, where am I? Who am I? Muradin survived! Oh my god. Dun, dun, dun. And Muradin is such a badass that he would go on and become like king of the Frost Dwarfs. Because he's fucking Muradin. Yeah, up to that point, we kind of expected him to be dead. Swords made by the jailer. Yes. Well, his minions, but yeah, so... the design of Frostmourne and the Helmet of Domination, the jailer ripped out of the Primus. And, because Primus invented domination magic, and then used it for his plans. Don't ruin it, bro. Let me enjoy this.
Good day to you.
Muradin lives. Could it be? I must notify King Bronzebeard at once. Here you go.
Safe travels.
Dun, 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 dun. Yay! And now, are we going to talk about when he cut out his heart? Because I love that part. Tell me more about the Forgotten Shore. This barren shoreline was once the site of Arthas Menethil's forces when he traveled to Northrend to find and destroy Mal'Ganis. Despite Arthas' thirst for vengeance, it was not shared by King Terenas. Terenas sent an emissary ordering the fleets to return to Lordaeron against his son's wishes. Furious, Arthas hatched the plan, recruiting mercenaries to burn the Lordaeron ships and keeping them stranded. When the burned ships were discovered, Arthas blamed the mercenaries and let his soldiers murder them in cold blood. This coast and the ghosts that haunt it are all that remain of the chilling tale.
Every good story needs a hero.
A horrifying blade wielded by the Lich King, Frostmourne had the ability to shatter and imprison the soul of its victims, as well as twist the living into mindless undeath. It was a first... Mindless undeath. Is it undeath or is it supposed to be undead? Do we have any grammar people in the world? It was at first a tool of the Lich King, and then placed carefully in a cavern for the Lich King's chosen champion to find. As its description said, just as the blade rends flesh, so too must power scar the spirits. When Arthas took upon the blade, he forfeited the soul to the Lich King. Neither paladin nor prince, Arthas was now a Death Knight to the Scourge, and would lead him in a horrific campaign of carnage across his former homelands. Could be either here. Undead the noun, undeath the adjective.
Jade Serpent guide you. Eyes open. Always be learning.
Cho has grown silent.
Every good story needs a hero.
Oh, we're already there. Cool. What makes a king? Is it his crown? Is it the sharpness of his sword? The coldness of his heart? Perhaps the undying servitude of his people? Just as it's difficult to say when a sapling becomes a tree, or a mountain becomes a hill, so too is it difficult to know when exactly Arthas Menethil passed into memory and the Lich King was born. Where do we draw the line between man and monster?
Jade Serpent guide you. Hello.
Is everything alright, Joe?
Tread like...
Frostmourne changed Arthas.
Aww.
No longer was he a paladin of the light, but a knight in the service of death. But the people of Lordaeron were none the wiser. His homecoming was met with roses and ringing bells. It ended with betrayal and blood. Ah, my son.
No way, Cole.
You no longer need to sacrifice for your people. You no longer need to bear the weight of your crown. I've taken care of everything.
What is this? What are you doing, my son?
Succeeding you, father.
Oh!
No way! Damn! Okay.
Greetings.
Tell me more about House Crown. Once, this place was only the site of the Frozen Throne, the prison that encased the Lich King. Yet as the Lich King's power and influence expanded, his Scourge armies built fortresses and structures throughout Northrend, the greatest of these being Ice Crown Citadel. Aki, thank you very much for the prime. Crafted from Serenite, the Dark Fortress is as large as a city. It housed only the most evil, malevolent, and dedicated of the Scourge. Those who served the Lich King utterly would find their home. There's the last line defense between the Lich King and whoever would dare darken his door. Do we ever find out what happened to the crown? We do, Yami, actually. There is exploring Azeroth Eastern Kingdoms. I want to say it's the Eastern Kingdom one, or Kalimdor, one of the two. It's the one with Flynn and Shaw. And in that book, they explore Azeroth, as the title suggests, and they go across all these places. And throughout the book, they learn about hints about the Bloody Crown. They actually find the crown again, but they also bury it. Like, they're like in the sense of best not to bring this back up again. I got a video on it. The Bloody Crown. I could look it up for you. Hang on. So we're waiting for ads, anyways. Okay. Once displaced to the side of the Frozen Throne, big as a house, and whoever would dare darken its door.
Farewell. Pandaria welcomes you.
The Lich King. Arthas Menethil. Maybe the Lich King we're familiar with in Azeroth, but he was not the first. Kil'jaeden the Deceiver, second in command to the Burning Legion, originally crafted the Lich King from the spirit of the Orc Shaman Ner'zhul. Why? To raise an undead army on Azeroth, thus weakening its inhabitants in the preparation of the Burning Legion's invasion. Imprisoned in a block of ice with the helm of damnation, the Lich King hurled to Azeroth, crashing in the icy waste of Northrend. Yet Ner'zhul did not wish to remain in this frozen prison forever. Thus he worked to free himself, choosing a champion who would wield Frostmourne, ascend the Frozen Throne, and eventually take the helm of damnation for his own.
Jade Serpent guide you.
Was Arthas truly lost, Joe? As the ads are over, and welcome back, everybody.
For a man who had lived so strongly, had loved and fought so fearlessly, Arthas had fallen as far as he once climbed.
Oh? Where are you taking me, Joe?
Returning to Northrend, Arthas continued his descent into damnation, and his ascent to the Frozen Throne.
Defile, pain and suffering, remorseless winter. Banish the memory of Muradin.
How I miss those endless days in Lordaeron.
No! You monster!
Oofer. Nothing to say? I'm sorry, just put a bit of defile on the floor.
Every little death helps.
Ah, thanks, Xal'atath.
No! You monster!
How I miss those endless days in
Oh my god, go away. Glad you could make it, Oofer.
Treason! Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Hello, Dad.
Hello, my son.
Hello.
Lordaeron looks to us.
Arthas, my son, the crown weighs heavily upon your head. You shall learn in time. The wind howls in your ears that no king rules forever.
Was Arthas truly gone? Did only the Lich King remain? It is not for me to say, but Jaina Proudmoore refused to lose hope that the man she once loved was truly lost. How does today find you? Farewell. Every good story needs a hero.
In the glacial mountains of Icecrown,
God, okay.
Jaina braved the Lich King's sanctum on a desperate quest for the truth.
So this moment was given to Jaina, yeah? I don't remember from the chronicles which one was given, but that makes sense, I guess.
The chill of this place. Ooh, I can feel my blood freezing. What is that? Up ahead. Could it be? Heroes at my side!
This is Halls of Reflection, a dungeon from Wrath of the Lich King. I'm trying to remember, what did I think about the dungeon? The waves were kind of ass, but I liked fighting in it.
Shh, I'm trying to think here.
Wait, you can skip it? That makes no sense. It's lore. Nah, we need the dialogue. We don't want to skip it. We're here for the lore.
Frostmourne. The blade that destroyed our kingdom. Stand back! Touch that blade and your soul will be scarred for all eternity. I must attempt to commune with the spirits locked away within Frostmourne. Give me space. Back up, please!
Jaina, could it truly be you?
Uther! Dear Uther! I'm so sorry.
Jaina, you haven't much time. The Lich King sees what the sword sees. He will be here shortly.
Arthas is here? Maybe I...
No, girl. Arthas is not here. Arthas is merely a presence within the Lich King's mind. A dwindling presence.
But Uther, if there's any hope of reaching Arthas, I must try.
Jaina, listen to me. You must destroy the Lich King. You cannot reason with him. He will kill you and your allies and raise you all as powerful soldiers of the Scourge.
Tell me how, Uther. How do I destroy my prince?
Snap out of it, girl. You must destroy the Lich King at the place where he merged with Ner'zhul. Atop the spire, at the frozen throne. It is the only way.
You're right, Uther. Forgive me. I don't know what got a hold of me. We will deliver this information to the king and the knights that battle the Scourge within Icecrown Citadel.
There is something else that you should know about the Lich King. Control over the Scourge must never be lost. Even if you were to strike down the Lich King, another would have to take his place. For without the control of its master, the Scourge would run rampant across the world, destroying all living things. A grand sacrifice by a noble soul.
Who could bear such a burden?
I do not know, Jaina. I suspect that the piece of Arthas that might be left inside the Lich King is all that holds the Scourge from annihilating Azeroth.
Then maybe there is still hope.
No, Jaina! He is coming. You... Silence, Paladin.
Hi, Arthas.
So, you wish to commune with the dead. You shall have your wish. Balric, Marwyn, bring their corpses to my chamber when you are through.
As you wish, my lord.
Soldiers of Lordaeron, rise to meet your master's call.
Good lord, this RP was long.
You won't deny me this, Arthas. I must know. I must find out.
Do I actually have to do this? Really? Nah. Oh god, alright. Well, if I must, then I must. So, was it a lie? Was it actually like a lie? the way that he describes it is if there must be a Lich King, and if there isn't, then the world is doomed, right? That's the way he describes it, which is the reason why Bolvar picked up the helmet and put it on his head. Except, we don't have a Lich King right now. We haven't had a Lich King since Shadowlands, and we've been absolutely fine. And you could argue, like, yeah, we did a lot of work for that, which is fine, but we could have done a lot of work in that moment as well, right? So, you know, it was a bit overblown. But then again, did it ever make a lot of sense? Not really. In my mind. It was always the idea of... We want to keep the window to the Lich King storyline open. The farmer dies. Yeah, poor Ben died. That's true. R.I.P. Ben.
Men, women, and children. None were spared the Master's wrath. Your death will be no different.
Yeah, but then the whole idea of there must always be a Lich King is also a lie. There must be a Lich King until we grow stronger would have been a better sell. Eternal torment for Bolvar, but not really. Nah, we could take him now. You know what I mean?
Despair. So delicious.
This pear is delicious.
Despair. So delicious. Despair. So delicious.
Stop it.
Morwen. Finish them.
I don't know. Oh god, I need to do Marwyn as well. Good lord. There we go. I suppose the active Scourge evasion all around Azeroth, him to suddenly lose control, lash out randomly was way worse. I mean, my mind has always been that even if we want to go with the idea that... So, okay, let's go back to Wrath the Lich King. And in the story of Wrath the Lich King, we have an Arthas as the Lich King, who shows up a couple of times, and he's basically testing us. He's prodding us. He's luring us to the top of Icecrown, because what did Arthas want? He wanted Azeroth's greatest fighting force, so he could kill us, resurrect us, and make us the most powerful agents the Scourge have ever had, right? And unlike other villains with plans, Arthas' plan actually worked. He had exactly what he wanted. At the top of Icecrown, we were dead on the floor, dead to rights. All he needed to do was resurrect us. And then there was Tyrion Fordring with his old light, give me one final blessing. If that never happened, Arthas would have gotten what he wanted. But the point being, at that point in time, Arthas pitched us against his most powerful creations. What more did the Scourge have to offer at that point that we could not conquer? Because that was the point, again. Like, he wanted the peoples, he wanted the most powerful fighting force Azeroth had. But even if we want to go out with the idea of, oh, you know, it's numbers they could have overwhelmed, right? I should say numbers. Then okay, fair enough. Bolvar puts on the helmet, now controls the Scourge. He makes all the Scourge walk to a big old pit of Sauron. You have the dragons breathe fire over said pit, and voila, problem solved. No more Scourge. Morticia, sweet dreams.
Death is all that you will find.
Have
here.
a wonderful workday.
Waste away into nothingness. Waste. Yes. Run. Run to meet your destiny. Its bitter, cold embrace awaits you.
Okay. Sweet. That's what Bolvar's been doing? Maybe, but then I would like to see them explain that, right? Because they wanted to make that whole starting event a big old threat, ain't it? Ego's the Lord of the Ring things, right, as well, right? Not very compelling thing for the story, even though it would make sense. Exactly, but that's more to my point. Like, even with the helmet destroyed, that's why I'm memeing about an Uther the Lightbringer going like, oh, Jaina, there must always be a Lich King. That's the joke. Like, not really. We're perfectly fine. You're overselling this a little bit. Bolvar sitting on that throne, not really. And the idea of him picking up the helmet and putting it on his head, there must always be a Lich King. It's not supported by the story, but it's supported by the idea of we want to keep that window open. I'm happy that they kept the window open. Now, obviously, I'm not happy with what happened with the Shadowlands, but it's better than, for example, what they did with Dragon Aspects, where after Cataclysm they said, like, oh yeah, dragons can no longer reproduce and they're eventually gonna die out, and it's like, that's not fun. Could we go back to the whole idea of there must always be dragonkind? That would be nice. There must always be a Lich King and whatnot. I like that better. Because they also done some cool shit with Bolvar's Lich King.
You are not worthy to face the Lich King.
For some reason, my Wake of Ashes is not working. Like, Fellow Malorn was awesome. That artifact quest line was really sick. And in Legion with the Death Knight Order Hall,
I have failed.
the idea of, is he manipulating events? Is he making his own Death Knights? Did he manipulate Darien and becoming one of the Horsemen? It never went anywhere, but it was definitely potentials, right? Hi, Jaina. You having fun?
Allies have arrived, Jaina, just as you promised.
Here.
You will all become powerful agents of the Scourge.
He is too powerful. We must leave this place at once. My magic can hold him in place for only a short time. Come quickly, heroes.
And yeah, they've retconned the reproduction bit. Even though one of their books, which is called the Dragon one, the Dragon Codex, like the collective information, all dragon stuff, uses the old Cataclysm lore. So that sucks. But no, they've most definitely retconned, and dragons can reproduce.
All I ever wanted was to study.
Uh-oh. Wait, can I take him? Can I take you? Oh, no. Oh, I don't think I can take him.
There is no escape.
But there could be. Uh-oh.
Death's cold embrace.
I will destroy this barrier. You must hold the undead back.
Voila. Scarce information was going on. Nothing is so far in the Green Dragon events. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's quality, ain't it? Quality control.
Succumb to the chill of the grave.
Yeah, you thought this dungeon was stressful? I love tanking this bit was awesome. Because I've done it so much that, like, you knew how the waves worked and how his movement worked and shit. It was awesome. Definitely a bit
Another
of a DPS
ice
check.
wall. Keep the undead from interrupting my incantation so that I may bring this wall down.
You hated this part? Yeah. Nah, man, I love this. It's great. And then you could go in and pull them a little bit quicker. Yeah. Hey. Oh god, look at Jaina's health. What are you doing to Jaina?
I'm trying to think here.
Hey! Oh no. Are you okay,
All I ever
Jaina?
wanted was to study.
Another dead end.
Back when dungeons were hard enough that you had to pay attention? Wrath? Big disagree. Wrath was very much run through them and clear them all out. Although, nah, Halls of Reflection's first iteration was definitely spicy. I remember wiping on those ghost waves. Nah, that was fair.
We're almost there. Don't give up.
What? You thought Wrath the Lich King dungeons were hard? Were you all not playing a paladin or anything? Just play a paladin where all your abilities do extra damage and stun the mobs that you fight against. It's not that hard. Death Knights were introduced. Death Knights were overpowered as... Wrath dungeons, in my mind... In my memory, Wrath... Wait, I'm gonna look up the list of Wrath dungeons in a moment. Hang on. I need to know this now.
How long can you fight it?
We do one more wave. Let's see. Dungeons in Wrath the Lich King. Dungeons, Wrath the Lich King. Ashkahet of Ankahet was blasting. Same with Ner'zhul and Rube. Drak'Faron Keep was finding the shortcuts and
Your
run,
barriers
run, run,
can't
run.
hold us back much longer, monster.
Same with
I will
Gundrak.
shatter them all.
Halls of Lightning, you had to mark a couple of dwarves at the end that did like a lightning spin, but as long as these were kept under control, it was a phase roll. Halls of Stone just took long, was not difficult. Halls of Reflection was spicy in its first iteration, became a lot easier. Pit of Sauron just took a long-ass time clearing the trash. Culling of Strefholm was not hard whatsoever. Forge of Souls was not hard whatsoever. Nexus, no, Nexus was great fun. Oculus was not difficult. Violet Hold was literally waiting for the waves to respawn. Trial of the Champions with the horses was not difficult. Utgard Keep was not difficult. And Utgard Pinnacle was not difficult. Nah. Not in my memory. This part? Nah, I love this part. But you know, I am a god gamer, so there's that, you know. No. I will say, Cataclysm. Where they made that whole big old post where they were gonna do, where they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna make dungeons hard again. And then they did for like 2 days because people moaned too much about it.
There's an opening up ahead. Go now!
Cataclysm dungeons were hard for 2 days. And that's when they became phase roll again. Womp womp. Yeah, for 2 days it was like a ton of fun. And then it was like, oh, okay.
It's a dead end.
Oh no.
We have no choice but to fight. No. Steel yourself, heroes, for this is our last stand.
Arthas, you need to hurry up, man. We're already ready for you. We're making our last stand, apparently. Oh my god, he is so slow.
Nowhere to run. You're mine now.
Fire! Fire! Quickly, climb aboard. We mustn't tarry here.
Oh, that's lucky.
There's no telling when this whole mountainside will collapse.
And there's Cho. Hi, Cho.
Hello.
Hello. How was the Lich King defeated?
Like thunder after lightning, the anguish that the Lich King left in his wake caught up to him in the end. From atop the frozen throne, he wielded his cursed blade and set his final plan into motion. To secure his invincible army, Arthas sought to extinguish the light of Azeroth's heroes and raise them into darkness.
It's like the Illidan storyline, but now we're Arthas! Yay! Who are you? Death Knight Hunter. Okay, they don't have names this time around. Alright. Oh, they do have a summon gate for the... Every single raid. Warlock, can I get some cookies in a summon, please? Holy sh... Okay, how many Death Knights do you all have? 1, 2 Warlock... How many people do you got? Alright, I just hope that they didn't bring any Thorium bombs. If they didn't bring bombs, we're gonna be okay. Yep, stand in the defile. Good. Good. Ha ha ha. You all don't stand a chance against me though, do ya? No, you do not. La 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 la. I really wonder what would happen if I would jump down there, but I guess it would just reset itself, ain't it? See, hello. We're back in some of the best days. Look at this. That rogue is just mortal throwing at the Lich King. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Who's the good little rogue? You're using your one-shot macro, aren't you? Yeah, you are.
Rise up, champions of the light!
Oh, come on, Dad. I worked really hard to kill those. Wait. That end... What? I don't think that ending was working appropriately. Joe, that was not how it went. There was the whole light. Give me one final blessing to shatter these bonds.
How does today find
And then
you?
they cheated, Joe. They full on cheated.
Farewell.
Huh. They insta-died again with the file. Yeah, I think that's what happened, to be honest.
Eyes open.
Oh, well.
Always be learning.
PTR will be PTR, ain't it?
Jade Serpent guide you. Every good story needs a hero.
It's a heavy story, but it's a story that must be told.
Thank you for listening to my tale, friend.
You're welcome. I had a lot of fun, Joe. That was great. Thank you for that. Royal Visage. Royal Visage. Boop. It is I, Arthas. And I will Arthas your Arthas any day of the week. Arthas wearing an Ashbringer. Nah, I've seen everything. Is this an event thing or just here now? So this is new content coming in the 11.1.7 patch. It is called Lorewalking. And in essence, it is 3 different stories that Lorewalker Joe tells you. But more than just telling you, he lets you experience it. And there was an ethereal one, which had some lore-dropping awesomeness actually connected to the War Within. There was a Xal'atath one, which has some lore epicness connected to the War Within. And now there was Arthas because, you know, Arthas is a fun story to go through. This is, without a doubt, in my mind, one of the best things that they've ever added to this game. Especially because it offers a very interactive way to learning the story within Warcraft in a much more interesting way. They also give you a book at the end, which is like a synopsis of what you've gone through. Imagine like a library inside of your future player housing, right? And imagine what kind of more chapters they're going to add. So in essence, the product that they put out is in the case of the ethereals, they streamlined the ethereal expansions or the ethereal questings. Because ethereal quest stories are spread out over different expansions, right? So you got a little bit in Burning Crusade, you got a little bit in the Shadowlands, you got a little bit here, a little bit there. And in essence, what Joe does is he takes those highlights and he guides you through them. So they don't necessarily need to make new stuff. They just need to connect it. In a similar way, with Xal'atath, they just let you go through the artifact questline that Priest did. And then they let you go through the Battle for Azeroth questline that we've done before. And then they give us a whole new scenario that we've never seen before, which was sick. But it's like 2 or 3 things that you do, but they're impactful, right? And they mean something for the story. In the same vein we just did with Arthas, part of it was... like they reused assets of Scarlet Monastery to recreate something. Like I can't imagine that they had to do a whole lot of work with like dumping a couple of new NPCs in there, using some old voice lines. But just the fact that they took time to do this and to give you a storyline is amazing. Like the entire thing gives you an interactive experience in order to check out the storyline for a certain section. And the potential of this is insane. And I'm so happy that this is added. As well as a side note, you could do this as level 10. I did a max level, but you could do it at level 10. So it's another alternative way of leveling up alts, if you so desire. Like say that you've got Chromie time that lets you go into older expansions. But what if you're more into the lore? This would allow you, especially if they expand the libraries of storylines to go through. You know, I really like the Arthas storyline, so I'm going to level up in that. Or I really like Illidan, or I really like the Murlocs, or the Kobolds, or whatever. You could go through stories instead of just expansions, right? But that's a potential. In the case of rewards so far, there are a couple of toys. They gave us a toy that made us look like an ethereal. They gave us a toy that gives us a buff, so that Xal'atath will now whisper to us when we kill things. Very similar to when you equip Xal'atath the blade, the artifact. But now that buff is available for everybody. And as you can tell, they gave us the Lich King costume that is a toy now instead of just a momentary item that you can use. And then here we got the Lich King notes, right? Prince Arthas Menethil was born an aspiring paladin and the heir to the throne of Lordaeron. As such, he had the weight of many expectations resting on him, both from his father King Terenas and his mentor Uther. He trained hard to live up to that everyone hoped that he would one day achieve for the good of his people and his kingdom. Yet, tragedy would one day strike in the form of a terrible plague that fell upon Lordaeron. The plague twisted those that were infected, turning the victims into the mindless, violent undead. Arthas chased the one responsible for this and eventually arrived at the city of Stratholme. There, he realized the people within had already been exposed to the plague, and to everyone's horror, he ordered his men to cut down every citizen in the city before they could become undead. He was unwilling to wait for a cure to be found to risk the rest of his kingdom. It was the first hint of darkness that eventually dragged Arthas to ruin. After Stratholme, Arthas traveled to Northrend in pursuit of the creature responsible for the plague, the Dreadlord Mal'Ganis. While there, he heard a tale of a weapon that could defeat Mal'Ganis, a blade called Frostmourne. Against all advice from his friends and mentors, Arthas claimed the blade, and in doing so, he lost his soul. For the blade was a weapon of the creature known as the Lich King, and whoever claimed the blade became the Lich King's servant. As the Death Knight, Arthas returned to Lordaeron and cut down his own father in the name of the Lich King. And later still, he ascended the frozen throne, placing the helm of damnation on his head, and taking the name of the Lich King for himself. For years he waited and planned. Eventually, the heroes of Azeroth traveled to Northrend to slay him, but what they did not realize was that this too was part of his plan. In order to obtain an invincible army, Arthas lured Azeroth's mightiest heroes to the peak of Icecrown Citadel, where he would slay and then raise them to serve him on death. Yet, he underestimated the might of Azeroth's heroes, and when the great fight atop Icecrown Citadel came to an end, so too did the Lich King, Arthas Menethil, who in his final moments could see only darkness before him. Did darkness always dwell within Arthas? Yes. Was his fate sealed from the start? No. Perhaps it is impossible to know. Oh. In the end, all any of us can do is what we believe is right.